You once heard a phrase, a verse, a reminder like lightning splitting the sky of your mind, and then it came back again and again, persistent like a war drum pounding against your chest. Listen, that is not coincidence. That is divine intervention. That is God stepping straight into your timeline like a king who doesn't need to knock. Heaven never repeats itself unless something is burning, unless a warning light is flashing right in front of you. Right now, in this very moment, is the 11th hour of your soul. Don't deceive yourself. When heaven keeps speaking, it's not to give you more quotes to collect. It is the sign that time is no longer your luxury, it has become your responsibility. You are the chosen one, and when the chosen hear a repeated call, that is a mobilization order, not an invitation. Let me say it plainly, no circling, no soothing. What was once a gentle invitation has become an instruction. The time called later has expired. Someday has evaporated like morning mist under the sun of righteousness. You've delayed long enough to realize that every postponement isn't just a step back, it's a silent agreement with smallness. It's you signing a contract with darkness that says, I'll stay still. Not anymore. This is the moment you tear up those quiet agreements. This is the moment you unseal a new page. Not with a pencil afraid of mistakes, but with the decisive signature of obedience. Hear the clock of heaven. It doesn't tick to scare you, it counts down to rescue you. You are standing at the threshold of destiny, where every knock is an opportunity, and every opportunity has an expiration date. God's love is eternal, unchanging and sure, but opportunities are not. You will never exhaust His mercy, but you can exhaust your season. Some seasons open like a window, and when the wind of favor blows, you must raise your sail. If you hesitate, the window closes. When that happens, it's not that God leaves, it's that the timing has turned the page, and you, chosen one, were not made to be late. I speak this with the power of truth. God repeats the message because He knows the weight of obedience is greater than anything you have estimated. He knows your delay becomes a door for distraction, and distraction hardens into chains. Every "I'll do it tomorrow" is a brick building a wall between you and the miracle already waiting. Don't let those bricks become a fortress you must scale with tears. Don't say, "Let me get a line first," because heaven has already declared the principle. Clarity follows obedience. You step first, then light follows. The supernatural follows the step, not the thought. You want a miracle? Put your foot on the water. You want the sea to part? Lift the staff. You want the door to open? Turn the handle and push. Faith doesn't need more evidence. It is the evidence. And the purpose of this repetition, it's not to warm your heart with many hearings. It is designed to shove you over the line between hearing and doing. Your notebooks are full of revelation. Your highlighters have crowned words like a coronation of knowledge, but crowns don't rest on heads that only take notes. Crowns rest on heads that act. Obedience is the bridge between revelation and manifestation. You can memorize the blueprint, but nothing moves until your feet move. Heaven does not reward potential. Heaven rewards participation. You can possess a warehouse of potential, but the reward lies in the moment you put your hand to the plow and refuse to look back. Your response determines your release. If you respond like someone half convinced, you crack the door halfway. But if you respond like the chosen, bold, decisive, unapologetic, the gates of heaven swing as wide as the day of creation. Now be honest with yourself. You know the cost of delay because you've paid it. You've watched opportunities sail by like a night ship in the fog, heard the departure horn, and realized you were still on the dock, clutching a cheap comfort named later. As of today, you're not wearing that garment again, because heaven, merciful yet blazing in wisdom, always warns before withdrawing the grace for a season. Understand this rightly. This urgency is not anger, it is an emergency rescue. This repetition is heaven's siren, wailing to haul you out of the smog of procrastination, eating away at your calling. This is your sacred reminder, your second chance, your alignment moment. God extends his hand once more, not because he is weak, but because he is steadfast. Yet he is also the King who walks on. He is moving forward. Will you keep pace or stand still and call it fate? Don't blame destiny when the culprit is hesitation.
I speak this as a decree into your spirit. You have been sealed to break the cycle of and shelve. You are woven with the thread of bold obedience. You are not a maybe, you are a will. And if your heart trembles, remember, obedience doesn't demand perfection, it invites your first step. Perfection follows like a cloak for the one who rises from the ashes of delay. Don't wait for your feelings to agree. Feelings are the latecomers. Decision is the doorkeeper. The moment you decide, you shift from the victim of time to the steward of timing. The moment you step, you shift from a beggar of miracles to a carrier of miracles. Picture a city at night where every light is an opportunity. Some lights will go out at dawn. Some streets glow only for one golden hour. Will you sightsee or will you walk? Will you tell the story of almost? Or will you live the story of I did? Heaven is taking a snapshot of your moment, and its lens captures one thing: your posture, head bowed or head high, clutching or releasing, hesitating or advancing. The chosen don't ask permission to exist. The chosen reclaim territory stolen by delay. And I am here not to pat the wound you've been nursing, but to ignite the will you left behind. Don't seek another sign. The words pounding in your chest are the sign. Don't wait for more proof. The breath in your lungs is proof that destiny still demands you. Seal this, carve it deep, and lock it into your spirit. God repeating himself proves he still believes in your capacity to respond, and mercy has not ended. But mercy isn't a cradle for more sleep. It's a staff to help you stand. This is the second call, not to shame you, but to save you. Rise again, brush off fear, and step into obedience. Act now, because the world is waiting for your version, the version that not only hears, but does. Put your foot down, open your mouth, take what is yours. Time is no longer a commodity to spend, it's a project you must steward. And you, the chosen, are ready. Do you hear that urgent beat pounding behind you? That's not vague anxiety, it's the clock of heaven ticking. It's not pushing you to live fast, it's waking you to live right. You're standing before the threshold opened by prayers you prayed years ago. This door doesn't hang forever in the air. It's mounted on the hinges of a season, a moment, a right time. God's love is an ocean without shores, yes, endless. But the ship of opportunity does not dock at one port forever. His love is eternal. Opportunity is a train with a timetable. You say, God, I know you love me. He answers, I still love you, but this train is about to roll. You cannot run out of his love. You can spend the tickets of your season. Don't confuse mercy with an unlimited free pass. Sometimes you miss the train and still manage to hop aboard. Don't turn the exceptional into your habit, because if you miss a sacred season. Your soul can still be restored, but timing may not return in the way you hoped. That doesn't make you a failure, it just makes the journey more winding, more costly, forcing you to learn lessons you could have learned in the front car with God. Face the truth. The weight of obedience is heavier than your calculations. God repeats because he knows you've undervalued the power of one right-timed yes. One yes in season can pivot a bloodline, heal generational loops, open assignments you thought were only dreams. And delay, it's not just tardiness, it's an open door inviting distraction into your control room. You hesitate for a day, and distraction introduces itself, pulls up a chair, opens a laptop, and starts planning your life for you. Tomorrow I'll do it is a blind guard for the thief of time. You say, I'll wait until it's clear, but heaven has written the constitution of believers. Clarity follows obedience. Light turns on after you step. The sea parts after your foot touches the water. The bread multiplies after you break it. The supernatural follows the step, not the thought. You can think yourself empty and never move, while a single step of obedience can crack the wall you've analyzed for 10 years without understanding its structure. And that's why this message repeats to thrust you beyond the fine line between hearer and doer. Hearing births faith, doing unlocks miracles. Revelation is the blueprint, obedience is construction. God hands you a vision like a bridge over a chasm, but only your feet carry you across. Heaven doesn't hand trophies to potential, that heaven delegates authority to participation. You've gathered enough seed of revelation to sow a whole harvest field, yet you keep gripping the seeds and gazing at them. Remember, seeds don't sprout in your pocket. When you put them in the ground, that's when the skies open. Your response is the key that decides your release. A sluggish response loses rhythm. A decisive response wakes the armies of heaven. Want to hear the lock click? Throw the excuses behind you and turn the key of obedience. Now, name the hidden costs of hesitation. You've felt them like a cold draft on your neck when opportunity breezed by, like an email opened too late, a call you missed, an idea someone else launched first because they moved faster. You thought God was punishing you. He was teaching you how to price obedience. This time, obedience weighs more because you understand the cost of delay. And before grace for any season recedes, heaven always warns. This repetition is a merciful fire alarm, not a whip. It's a hand pulling you out of the smoke of stagnation. Hear this. This is your sacred reminder, a second chance, your alignment moment. God gives you one more beat to keep pace, but he won't stop the procession for sleepers. The king advances, the army marches. Will you run with them or stand curbside rehearsing back then I almost? No one is anointed to almost. You are anointed to finish. Some ask, how do I start when I don't have all the information? I'm unsure of the roadmap, the resources, my emotions. Listen, that is the language of the self wanting to captain the ship. The language of the kingdom says this: act before perfect alignment, because alignment is the fruit that follows. You build the altar and then the fire falls, not wait for fire before building. You set the table and then the oil flows. You lay the bricks and then the wall stands. Don't wait for favorable winds to raise your sail. Raise your sail and the wind will find it. Reason is good, strategy essential, but they are tools, not the king. The king has spoken, and you, the chosen, are the living piece that executes the king's word in the king's time. Identify the voices squatting in your head, rent-free. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of lack. These three ally with delay to rob you of your ripe hour. Fear of failure whispers, "What if you get it wrong?" Obedience answers, "My mistake isn't bigger than his sovereignty." Fear of judgment asks, "What will people say?" Obedience replies, "Heaven has spoken, the crowd is noise." Fear of lack moans, "I'm not enough." Obedience declares, I am is with me." Will you let these tenants wreck your house, or will you serve the eviction notice right now? Decision is the judge's gavel in your hand. Strike the bench, issue the order, mute the objections, stand and act. Also, discern the difference between waiting on God and hiding from God. Waiting is a watchful posture of prayer, with your hand on the doorknob and eyes fixed where he points. Hiding is pulling the blanket of excuses over your head, calling fear wisdom, and naming procrastination, "I'm praying more." Mature believers don't use prayer like perfume to mask cowardice. They use prayer like a flare gun for angelic air cover. "I'm moving, cover me." That is earth and heaven in sync. You step, heaven opens, you decide, the host deploys, you sow, rain comes. Look at your circle of influence, family, co-workers, people watching you without your knowing. They're waiting for the version of you who both hears and does. When you rise, you don't just open your door, you flip the switch for a room full of others sitting in the dark. Understand the reach of your decision. One true yes drags a chain of other yeses behind it. A mother bold enough to obey clears a highway for her children's freedom. A husband bold enough to obey breaks the repeat curses in his line. A business person bold enough to obey carries integrity into the market, forcing the crooked to adjust. You say, "I'm just small." Heaven says, "You are the main breaker." When the main breaker flips, the whole grid lights up. I won't pretend there's no sting from past missed beats. Tears for doors that shut, nights of if only. Let those teach you, not chain you. Let old regret be the stern tutor pushing you into new discipline. You've paid tuition, now claim your diploma. From what school? The school of delay. Write your diploma with a decisive act. Today, make the call, send the application, delete the meaningless appointment, open your planner and assign a date, a time, a concrete commitment. No calendar, no execution, no breakthrough. Breakthrough doesn't visit the casual, it moves in with the consistent who locked the door behind hesitation. If you need another sign, place your hand on your chest and feel the rhythm. Every beat is another opportunity for your soul to say yes. Every breath is capital. God is investing in your assignment. Don't spend that capital collecting more reasons. Invest it in action. Tomorrow isn't mystical, it's simply today to those who do. So schedule destiny today, not to complain you're unready, but to declare that you and God are the overwhelming majority. As you step, the ground arranges under your feet. As you speak, doors oil their own hinges. As you do, coincidences line up to meet you. You'll call it luck. Heaven calls it grace coordinating with obedience. Receive this as a fiery blessing. May you grow so weary of sidelines that you can't endure them. May you become allergic to delay and refuse it. May you get addicted to the quiet peace of finishing so you never go back. May you discover that on the other side of one brave decision lies a new climate, lighter, brighter, clearer. And may you remember forever that heaven repeated itself, not to annoy you, but to save you, not to shame you, but to stand you up tall. Now do one action the moment this part ends. Write down one specific thing you will do in the next 24 hours to step into obedience. Set the time, place, tools, and the accountable person, you. If you want, add a witness to remind you and pray with you. But with or without anyone, you go because the King has called. The door is open, the clock is ticking, and you, the chosen, are striding into the rhythm of your destiny. Number 1, they mistook your heart of gold for a doormat. They stepped on you, wiped the mud of their words and schemes on your kindness, and assumed you'd lie there, quietly collecting dust. But gold isn't fabric. Gold passes through fire to shine. It doesn't lie under feet to dim. They regret it because when they treated you as a cheap exit for their selfishness, they missed the direct road to the blessing growing inside you. Analyze this well. Kindness isn't weakness, it's divine strength, choosing love when it has the right to withdraw. Spiritually speaking, Christ-like character is the doorway to God's power. When you keep kindness and set boundaries, you're not lowering, you're leveling up. You are a diamond. Diamonds aren't rubbed into the ground, they etch their name on the glass of reality. You rise, dust off, establish holy boundaries, and in that moment their whisper begins. If only they failed the integrity test. You passed through fire to shine. Number 2, they misread your silence as weakness. You chose quiet to hear God. They called it no opinion. But the silent desert is where prophets hear their call. The noisy storm is where the aimless perform. They regret it because while you were quiet, you were collecting oil. In that dark, your flask filled, and they never knew. Psychologically, shallow people need noise to prove presence. Deep people choose calm to prove dominion. Spiritually, silence is the altar where the word becomes familiar. Once you speak, mountains shift. They failed because they mistook your quiet for emptiness when it was the chamber God was filling. You are a diamond. Light travels through you along a calibrated axis, and when you shine, you cut through cheap talk. Number 3, they swapped your patience for stagnation. But the patience of the chosen is strategy, not fear. You wait to hear the King's footsteps, not because you dread the road. They regret ignoring the golden window where you chose depth over display. Spiritually, heavenly patience is waiting in readiness, while stagnation is sleeping in surrender. When you are patient, you grow roots, and once deep, the wind cannot negotiate with you. They built on public opinion. You built on revelation. You are a diamond. Pressure makes you clearer, not crushed. Number 4, they despised your vision because it had no proof yet. They asked, "Where are the numbers?" The metrics? You smiled. Faith is the evidence. They regret it because every wonder looks like madness in the embryonic stage. Psychology says people regret missed chances more than mistakes made. True. And when your vision blossoms, their metrics become obsolete minutes. Spiritually, revelation precedes signs. You're not crazy, you're ahead. They failed by demanding a harvest in a seed. You sowed in the right soil, right season, and now the Son of God is warming your furrows. You are a diamond cut to heaven's blueprint, not the crowd's trend. Number 5, they thought your forgiveness erased justice. Forgiveness is you taking them off your neck, while justice leave the date to heaven. They regret mistaking mercy for a passport. Forgiveness frees you from the prison of bitterness. At the same time, it seats them before the mirror of their true self, where regret condenses like night dew on the glass. Psychologically, when abusers lose a target, they must talk with their conscience. That's the quietest, longest storm. Spiritually, you place them in the hands of the righteous judge, and he does better than any earthly court. You are a diamond. Scratches don't devalue you. They narrate the furnace you survived. They failed by underestimating the power of a heart that both forgives and sets boundaries. Number 6, they twisted your humility into invisibility. But you're not invisible, you're covered. Covering is the kingdom strategy to protect what's precious in formation, like a seed hidden in soil. They regret it because when you appear, you won't come alone. You arrive with heaven's endorsement, and doors, once shut, unlatch on their own. Psychologically, those who chase spotlights too soon are blinded by them. Those who learn to see in the dark see better when the lights come on. Spiritually, hidden to be revealed in due time. You are a diamond. The jeweler doesn't display you before the cut. Once cut, you dazzle the room. They failed by racing human calendars. You moved by heaven's timetable. Number 7, they mistook your no for lack of love. But the wise no is the fence around the vineyard. They regret it because when you say no to chaos, you say yes to destiny. Psychologically, boundaries are the map that lets kindness travel far without running dry. Spiritually, saying yes to God includes saying no to whatever steals time, peace, and purity. You are a diamond, the sturdy setting that holds the stone. Without the setting, the gem is lost. They failed by living unframed. You built the frame, so glory has a place to dwell. Number 8, they assumed you needed them for validation. Truth, you're already sealed. You carry the king's signet, not the mood stamp of men. They regret it because when they withdrew applause, you didn't collapse. You went quiet, realigned, and broke through. Psychologically, craving the crowd's approval is a silent addiction that enslaves the talented. You detox by drinking living water from his well. Spiritually, calling isn't based on a referendum. It's based on the word already spoken. You are a diamond. You don't need clapping to shine. Your intrinsic light is heaven's work. They failed by thinking you lived by audience. You live by your maker. Number 9, they treated your stumbles as an expiration date. For the chosen, stumbles are class. They regret it because you learn faster than they can mock. Every fall teaches a new angle of grace, a new muscle of discipline. Psychologically, mistakes digested become wisdom. Spiritually, failure doesn't define a saint, resurrection does. You are a diamond, many facets formed from once rough edges. They put a period where God wrote a comma. Number 10, they assumed your power came from props, status, titles, platforms. Number, your power comes from obedience. They regret it because when they lose the platform, they fall. When you lose the platform, you fly, because the wind of the Spirit is your launch pad. Psychologically, those dependent on external scaffolding collapse when it shakes. Those who build inner core stand when storms come. Spiritually, obedience is the key to the supernatural vault. You are a diamond. Your value comes from essence, not the showcase. They chased pedestals. You were faithful at the altar. Between these pillars, hear the battle chant rolling like war drums. They regret. You are a diamond. They failed. You don't wish them pain, you wish them repentance. But you're no longer waiting on their repentance to move forward. You move, and your footsteps become the most complete sermon, a life of steady obedience that doesn't sway with applause or jeers. So choose a small but powerful right. Place your hand on your chest and say, clearly, I am the chosen. I don't ask permission to step into what's mine. I obey first. Clarity comes after. I am a diamond. The light of God refracts through me. I move forward, and they, unless they repent, are left with regret. Repeat until your voice syncs with the rhythm of heaven, and if these words set your heart drumming, turn feeling into a signal. Hit like now to seal your inner commitment. Tap subscribe to teach yourself that action precedes inspiration. Comment 777 to declare, I choose obedience, I choose timing, I choose to step. This isn't social fluff, it's a public proclamation, a small parade of faith on the platform in your hand. You're not appeasing an algorithm. You're giving your soul a visible signature for a new life. Remember, no one can shut what God opens, but you can miss an open door if you keep sightseeing. No more gazing, no more standing, no more waiting for apologies to heal before you go. You are healed in the healer. You are released from the prison of what will people think. You're wearing the armor of purpose and the shoes of peace that come from decisiveness. Every step you take says, I belong forward. And as you go, those who belittled, mocked, used, you will learn the only lesson they have left, the way of regret. Place them in God's hands. You focus on your road.
Remember, no one can shut what God opens, but you can miss an open door if you keep sightseeing, and no more gazing, no more standing, no more waiting for apologies to heal before you go. You are healed in the healer. You are released from the prison of what will people think. You're wearing the armor of purpose and the shoes of peace that come from decisiveness. Every step you take says, I belong forward. And as you go, those who belittled, mocked, used, you will learn the only lesson they have left, the way of regret. Place them in God's hands. You focus on your road. So for this section, pick one pillar as your tactical weapon for the week. Maybe boundaries, maybe forgiveness, maybe the courage to say no, maybe walking without needing proof. Write it down, schedule it, activate. And as you act, prepare for a familiar yet new phenomenon. Beautiful coincidences lining up, doors that once stuck swinging smooth, people who once ignored you seeking you out. You don't need swagger, you need steadfastness. You don't need noise, you need presence. You don't need to prove, you need to move. Look up, the light is changing. Dawn of a season of obedience is rising on your horizon. Put your hand on the next part's doorknob. Turn, push, step. And don't forget, you are the chosen. You were a diamond, they regret, they failed. And you win, not by luck, but by consistent obedience. This is the peak moment where every veil of fog dissolves and naked truth stands in the room. They didn't drop you because you were weak. They dropped you because the light in you was too costly for their cheap tastes. The ultimate truth is this: they didn't just lose you, they lost the best version of themselves that existed around you. They thought leaving was freedom. It was a one-way ticket to the desert of regret. And regret, contrary to popular illusion, isn't loud. It drips like water wearing away stone. Steady, patient, enduring. Each time you advance, that drop hits harder on their brittle ego. Each time you stand in obedience, their night grows an hour longer. You aren't cursing them. They signed a pledge to live with a shadow self when they rejected the light you carry. That's the subtlest pain. Watching the one you scorned become living proof of grace while you're stuck in the swamp of if only. When regret faces true light, it becomes a mirror that refuses to flatter, reflecting every chance squandered, every careless jab, every small-hearted choice coddled by pride. And that mirror doesn't turn off, it lives with them. It whispers in empty hours, it strolls into dreams and sits at the edge of the bed at dawn. What about you? Look at your own journey, from victim of delay to steward of timing, from collector of words to doer in quiet, from trampled heart to diamond, engraving your name on the glass of reality. Pain didn't kill you, it trained you. Closed doors didn't break you, they taught you which ones to knock. Contempt didn't silence you, it made you curate your audience. Betrayal didn't sour you, it made you wise. You took off the robe of favored by people and put on the armor of commissioned by God. You don't hunt for launch pads anymore, you discovered wings appear when you say yes without waiting for applause. Here's the summary of your transformation. Where they saw cracks, heaven saw seedbeds of light. Where they heard silence, heaven heard vows. Where they saw delay, heaven saw roots going deep. Everything that once served as excuse has become your discipline. Every wound has become an honor. Every wasted minute has been redeemed by your decisive strides today. Frame regret so you never confuse it with divine justice. Heaven's justice needs none of your management. It runs with precision under the clock of the righteous one. Regret is the natural sentence borne by souls who despise the light, not because you wish it, but because sowing and reaping is impartial. They sowed contempt, they reap loneliness. They sowed exploitation, they reap emptiness. They sowed mockery, they reap silence from doors once open. Forever here doesn't mean never pardoned, it means until they repent. If they turn, grace falls like a waterfall. If they resist, regret is a long companion. And you, chosen one, don't play judge, be a witness. A witness to what? To this undeniable truth. Obedience turns minds into thrones, deserts into pathways, and jeers into the chorus of new doors. So stand tall, fill your lungs, and hear the victory proclamation read over your life. You have risen out of the haze of hesitation. You don't drag your past into the future by the hand. You salute it for the lessons and walk on light. You don't need permission, you carry a mandate. You don't build on cheers and boos, you build on the everlasting word. Yesterday might have been slow, today is not. Yesterday might have been tangled, today you are razor clear. Look back just enough to appraise. Small obedient steps have paved a highway. You think you're slow, today is not. Yesterday might have been tangled, today you are razor clear. Look back just enough to appraise. Small obedient steps have paved a highway. You think you're slow, truly you're steady, and steady wins. From now on, your decisions lay stones for those after you. You aren't working only for yourself. You are a pioneer so others can call this road home. Here is a thunderbolt of a closing line. You have risen, and they are left with regret. Not because you are proud, but because you refuse to live beneath your calling. Not because they are cursed, but because they refused the blessing that walks with humility and respect for light. You carry no grudge, you carry hope. Hope that one day, at the bottom of their sighs of if only, they'll look up and see you not as a creditor, but as a signpost. Turn back. The road remains. The kingdom is open. Whether they return or not, you continue. Your mission isn't emptied by anyone's gaze. It's filled by the breath of the one who named you. Now the final call to action, not a sentimental plea, but a covenant between you and destiny. Right after this, do one concrete thing that proves you belong forward. Send the apology that must be sent, or shut the toxic door. Submit the application you fear.
or cancel the distracting appointment. Schedule a 30-minute morning habit for learning, prayer, and one key action. Write 3 short commitments: what, when, with what. Post them where your eyes must see daily. Then return here so the world sees you not only here, but do, like if you refuse to retreat to the old comfort zone. Share to awaken another warrior of light who needs heaven's alarm. Subscribe to walk with me. We will forge discipline together, step by step, season by season. And comment 777 as your public signet. I choose obedience. I sync with heaven's timing. I break through without asking permission. You're not doing this for an algorithm. You're anchoring your soul with a new ritual. And let this promise stamp the seal. The doors you need will see your consistency and open by themselves. The people you need will recognize your frequency and step in on their own. The fears you dread will see your posture and withdraw. I'll see you on the next leg of the journey, where we don't just talk destiny, we write it with the sweat, tears, and smiles of people who know they belong to the light. You have risen, and they are left with regret. Hit like, share, subscribe, and comment 777 now to seal the power.